life.
Okay, so I'm starting on freshly washed and deep conditioned hair, but first, don't forget to subscribe and like my video. Okay, so these are the perm rods that I'm going to be using later on in the video, and I'm going to start by prepping my hair. So I have this detangling spray, which I'm going to spray in the back section, and literally it just helps with detangling my hair. So then I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and detangle from the ends of my hair to the roots. So then I'm going to use my stimulating growth oil, and I use this to help seal in the moisture. Now I'm going to take my curl enhancing smoothie, and I don't know, for some reason I have to smell everything, but I'm going to use that to add a little moisture to my hair, and I start by applying it at the ends of my hair, and then I work it up to the base. Okay, so once I've prepped my hair, I take that back quadrant and I'm going to part it, and I'm actually going to part this back quadrant into thirds. Okay, then I'm going to take my Denman brush and just further detangle and smooth out that section, and I add a little bit more curl enhancing smoothie, but the major key is really having smooth hair for this style. Okay, then I take my Cream of Nature mousse as my styler. I take about 2 pumps of that, and then I'm going to work that through that back section. Okay, and one last time I take my Denman brush to make sure that section is really smooth before I apply the perm rod. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the ends of my hair and wrap that around the perm rod, and you see I'm making sure that the ends of my hair are really flat and smooth on the perm rod, and I'm putting some tension on it. So once I roll that up and it feels secure, I then going to flip the perm rod and roll up and continue to flip. So first I secure it at the bottom and then flip and roll the perm rod up to the base of my scalp. And don't worry, I will show you this again in the front of my head. Okay, I have secured the perm rod, and at the back I ended up having 6 rollers, 2 rollers in each row, and I remember I ended up making 3 rows in the back quadrant. Okay, so now to the front of my hair, I'm going to prep it like I did earlier in the video. So I'm adding water because it got a little dry, and then I'll spritz in that detangler, seal in that moisture with my oil, and work that through the hair really good. And then I take my curl enhancing smoothie and do the same thing, add that to my hair, and work that in as well. Okay, so once I've prepped that row of hair, I'm going to part it into thirds, which is different. In the back, I parted into 2, each row into 2 different rollers, but now I'm parting into thirds in the front because I want to make sure it's a little more defined in the front. And then I'm going to take that mousse, about 2 pumps of that mousse, and work that through the hair. And then I will detangle that hair to make sure that it's nice and smooth. Okay, so once the hair is thoroughly detangled and smooth, I take the perm rod, I wrap my ends around the perm rod, and you see I'm trying to keep the ends of my hair really smooth and flat on the perm rod, and then I begin to roll up towards my hair, and once it feels secure, I'll then flip and roll, flip and roll, flip and roll until I get to the base of my scalp. Okay, so let's take a look at that one more time. So I smooth the hair, I take the ends of my hair and I just wrap it around the perm rod and try to keep those ends as flat as possible and as smooth as possible around the perm rod. You don't want the curlies on the perm rod. And then I begin to roll the hair and flip and roll, flip and roll, flip and roll until we get to the scalp again. And this is what my hair is looking like once I have all of the perm rods installed. Okay, so I'm done installing the perm rods now. I ended up putting 6 rollers in each back quadrant. And then I ended up putting 9 rollers in each front quadrant. The perimeter, I kind of curled it towards my face so that the curls will fall in front of my face. So I'm hoping for like kind of a curly fro look versus having a part, which I normally do parts. Okay, so I let my hair dry under the hooded dryer for an hour and a half, and then I went to sleep overnight, and now it's time to take it down. Let's get to it. Okay, it's time for the takedown. So the takedown is really simple. All you do is unravel the roller in the opposite direction that you originally curled it. And look, honey, that is the fine. Okay, and this is what it's looking like after I've removed all the perm rods. So now it's time to separate. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil to my hands, and I'm going to pull the curls apart. But once I pull them apart, I'm sure that I curl it with my fingers to keep it going in the same direction and making sure that it doesn't get too frizzy. So you just separate the curls, twirl it around your finger, and then you're good to go. Okay, to show that one more time in the front, you just take the hair and separate it, and how many times you separate it is up to you, but make sure your hands are oiled. You take the hair, you separate it, and then you twist it around your fingers at the ends to make sure that the curls remain intact. And clearly, I'm loving these results, but you know your girl always has to fluff. So then, and this is optional, you can take your pick and begin to fluff your hair to your liking. I like to have a little more volume in my hair, so this is why this step is kind of mandatory in my process, but it might not be the same for you. And I'm just pulling at my hair and shaping it. And then sometimes I go upside down and fluff as well, and that helps with adding a little more volume. And there you have it. These are the final results. Thanks for watching. Bismillah, out! Dig into a new product with dirty hands now, do you?
Least y'all could have done really was do the outside.
I'm going to sleep now. I'm delirious. I'm yapping.